This is a full story. Kitten wishes you all a happy and enjoyable story. A couple locked in a passionate kiss appeared in the live stream of the Disney fireworks show. Netizens sighed in envy, calling it a perfect match, lamenting the cursed beauty of someone else's romantic love story. But only I felt something entirely different. Because the woman in the photo was my wife Hailey, and the man was her childhood friend Tony. Hailey and a stranger had gone viral after being caught in a kissing photo taken by a live streamer at Disney. Fireworks lit up the night sky, and the two of them kissed passionately beneath it. The photo was stunning, the kiss romantic. The only flaw was that Hailey was married. I saw the photo on my phone at home. Just then Hailey returned, hearing the audio from the video. Her expression changed. She sat by the bed looking at me. "That's Tony," she said. "I've mentioned him before. He's my childhood friend. It was New Year's Eve. We were giving each other a New Year's kiss as friends. Don't overthink it. Tony and I grew up together. There's nothing romantic between us." I put down my phone. "Okay," Hailey added. "He just returned from overseas. Didn't know where to go, so he asked me to spend New Year's with him. I couldn't really say no." I stayed silent. We had been married for 3 years. Hailey had always been cold when it came to physical affection. I respected her, so whenever she didn't want intimacy, I never forced it. Now I realized she did have passion, just not for me. Seeing my indifferent face, she grew upset. "I'm here with you now. Why are you giving me that look?" Tony's name wasn't unfamiliar. On our wedding night, Hailey got drunk and muttered his name in her sleep. Not long after I was discharged from the hospital, I joined one of Hailey's friend gatherings. By the time I arrived, she and Tony were already there. Hailey sat beside him, his hand resting on her waist. There was a red kiss mark on her collarbone. She looked lazy, like a woman freshly loved. Someone joked, "Our Hailey, the untouchable flower." Only Tony could win her heart. If Tony hadn't gone abroad for treatment back then, Rocky wouldn't even be in the picture. A friend asked, "Hailey, do you really like Rocky?" She replied casually. His eyes look like Tony's. Now that the real one is back, the substitute can step down, right? I heard everything clearly at the door. Clearly, all her friends knew about her feelings for Tony. They all understood Tony was her true love. Someone noticed me standing there. "Rocky's here," they said quickly. "Come sit, we were just joking." Hailey looked flustered, hiding her neck with her hair. "You're here," she said softly. Tony chuckled. "Stop teasing." Hailey gets upset easily. The group laughed. All right, we get it. You're protective of her." I sat beside Hailey casually. I reached out and moved her hair aside. She froze. My cold fingers brushed the kiss mark on her skin. I smiled. "Living wild, aren't we?" No attempt to hide the affair. Hailey's face turned red. Tony's smile vanished. The air turned stiff. Hailey snapped. "What nonsense are you saying? Are you ruining the mood on purpose?" I withdrew my hand. "I'm ruining the mood. You two are all over each other in front of people. What's there left to ruin?" Someone tried to smooth things over. "Must be the alcohol. It's a misunderstanding," Tony said. "Sorry, I drank too much just now." Hailey stared at me. "What are you trying to do?" I pulled out my phone, showed the message alert from the credit card tied to my account. On New Year's Eve, a luxury room was booked at Disney. "Hailey," I said, "if there really was nothing between you two, I can't believe a man and a woman shared a room and stayed innocent." Hailey stood up. "You think too dirty. So you think everyone else is like you." I pointed at the others. "Ask anyone here who's married. Would they accept their spouse sharing a bed with someone else? If they can, I won't say anything." Everyone seemed to know something between the two, but no one expected I'd lay it all bare. The room fell silent. I stood up. "I just came to say, this substitute is stepping down." Later that night, Hailey came home. She tried to explain. There were no rooms left at Disney. I didn't book in advance, so we had to share one. He slept on the sofa. "Please believe me." "Really?" I pointed to her collarbone. "What about that? A mosquito bite." Hailey's face flushed. "Tony got drunk. He said he always liked me." I pushed him away. I told him I was married. There was no chance between us. Hailey had changed. She could lie now without even blinking. She was no longer that girl who blushed when she lied. I met her in an art gallery my friend and I opened. She had been crying in a corner. Her friend was trying to comfort her. That's when I learned her professor had signed his name on her painting. Sold it for over 100,000. Then threw her 3,000, as if she were a beggar. He even sneered. "Do you know how many students at the New York Art Academy would kill for me to use their work? I chose yours. You should be grateful." Hailey came from a struggling family. She worked part-time to barely afford her tuition. Art was expensive, and her family couldn't support her. She sobbed with her face in her hands. I watched from behind, sighing. Later I got to know her through a friend. I felt sorry for her. She was trying so hard. I gave her resources, paid critics to write reviews. I didn't understand art, but I had money. Within a few years, I helped her become a recognized artist. She became my girlfriend, then my wife. People said her style was ethereal, that she was the most elegant young artist in New York, untouched by the mundane world. But no one is truly untouched. It was me who lifted her above the dirt, so she didn't need to get her hands dirty. She just mistook that as her own brilliance. This world isn't lacking in talent. Hailey looked at me. I didn't do anything to betray you. You can't just decide to divorce me over one photo. I won't divorce you. Tears welled in her eyes. You can't sentence me to death over a picture. You have to give me a chance. I'm innocent. There's nothing between me and Tony. Her voice was soft again like before. She held my arm. If you really don't like Tony, I'll see him less alright. Through her shoulder, I saw the wall behind her. Our framed photos together. I softened. Maybe one kiss didn't mean anything. One message couldn't erase years of love. Maybe she still loved me. Her tears melted my heart. That night she leaned against me in bed. Half asleep, she nestled closer, then mumbled, "Tony." A bucket of ice poured over my heart. I was wide awake. Her phone buzzed. A message. I picked it up and unlocked it. It was from Tony on WhatsApp. "Hailey, I've never regretted going abroad more than I do now. I lost the chance to stand by your side. When I kissed you today, I felt like I was back at Disney that night." He attached a selfie, the two of them kissing. Hailey with her eyes closed. Tony kissing her like a man possessed. I stared at the screen. Then Hailey murmured again, "Darling." My heart paused. I forwarded the photo to myself, deleted the evidence, locked her phone, and pretended I hadn't seen a thing. It was our wedding anniversary. A month ago, I had already planned everything, preparing a surprise for Hailey. I booked the entire revolving restaurant on the top floor of the Waldorf Hotel. Across from it stood the tallest skyscraper in New York. I had reserved the massive electronic screen in Times Square, planning to make a heartfelt public confession to her that night, celebrating our third anniversary. The whole floor was decorated with roses. Hundreds of drones were waiting to take flight, all programmed according to my ideas. Earlier, I had messaged her, asking her to meet me at the rooftop of the Grand Hotel. The time came. She was nowhere to be found. My calls went unanswered, my messages unread. Hotel staff stood nearby hesitant to ask if they should serve the dishes. All my friends were already there. A buddy asked, "Rocky, your wife isn't here yet. Traffic jam maybe." "Don't worry. Yeah, it must be traffic." Everyone chimed in. I glanced at the time. It was already past our appointment. I told the staff, "Serve the dishes," then turned to my friends. "She had an urgent matter. Won't be able to make it. Let's just eat." Just as I finished, we heard a commotion at the entrance. "I'm sorry, tonight is a private event," the waiter explained to a pair of guests. "There are still so many empty seats." The woman argued, "Can't you just give us one? Tonight's special for us." I turned around. It was Hailey and Tony. Hailey held a bouquet of red roses. They were holding hands, trying to enter the revolving restaurant. The room fell silent. All my friends stared. I walked over, looking at their joined hands. Hailey saw me and panicked. I stared at her. "Hailey, do you remember what today is? Going on a date with your ex. That's the important matter. So that's why you didn't answer your phone, didn't reply to my messages." She quickly let go of Tony's hand, muttering, "I'm sorry. I forgot today was our anniversary." One of my friends couldn't hold back. "Forget your anniversary." A married woman holding hands with her ex, having a candlelit dinner. So brazen. Never seen anything like it. Hailey tried to explain. "Today's Tony's birthday. I just wanted to treat him to dinner." She stepped forward, tugging on my sleeve. "Honey." I held her hand gently. Hailey looked at me carefully. "Don't be mad," she said. I caressed her hand, then slowly slipped off her wedding ring. Hailey panicked. "What are you doing?" I tossed the ring into the trash can nearby. Looked up at her. "It's over, Hailey. I don't want to keep hoping you'll come back. I don't want your pity. I shouldn't have softened, thinking you'd love me back. I give up. Let's get a divorce. This time, I mean it." I turned and left. Hailey tried to follow, but a friend stopped her. "Hey, your boyfriend's still here. You're just gonna leave him." "Hailey, what are you even thinking? Rocky's not good enough for you. Where is he lacking? You cheated, and it's this pretty boy. Shameless." "Rocky," Hailey cried. "Don't look at this so narrowly. It was just dinner. Wedding anniversaries happen every year. We have a whole life together. Why fuss about just one day?" Tony stepped up. "Sorry, this is all my fault. Blame me, not Hailey." Hailey defended him. "How can this be your fault? It's your birthday. I was the one who invited you. Ignore him. He's being unreasonable." Tony said, "Are you sure it's okay?" Rocky seemed really upset. "Maybe skip dinner. Go talk to him." Hailey waved him off. "No need. I'll coax him later. He's always petty like this. Don't mind him." That night, she came home to find the lock code had been changed. She pounded on the door, drawing noise complaints from neighbors. She called me. "I'm staying at a hotel," I said. "The one I booked for our dead wedding anniversary. You didn't want it. I'll enjoy it myself." "This is my house," she yelled. "Why won't you let me in?" "Your house," I laughed. "Did you pay a single cent for it?" I hung up. The hotel suite I had booked was the most romantic. Candlelight, roses, red wine laced with fruit aromas. Everything was perfect, except the woman it was meant for was missing. But now, it didn't matter anymore. News of our divorce soon reached Hailey. Hailey's family. Her parents sold vegetables for a living. When I married her, I bought them a house, helped them open a produce shop. Life became easier. I was always generous with Hailey's expenses. She gave most of it back to her family. I pretended not to notice. But now with divorce looming, all of that would disappear. Hailey worked at an art studio. Whenever she had free time, she painted. After Tony returned, he often accompanied her there. One day, Hailey's mother showed up at the studio. The two of them were laughing, heads close together, discussing a new piece. Hailey's mom shoved the easel aside, slapped her across the face. "Are you insane?" she shouted. "You should be coaxing your husband, but you're messing around with this gigolo. I had to hear from neighbors that my son-in-law wants a divorce." Her slap turned Hailey's face red. Hailey always prided herself on being a refined artist. She rarely appeared in public with her parents. She was ashamed of her humble roots, of her parents selling vegetables. Now her mother had shattered all that pride. Tears welled up in her eyes. "Mom, why are you hitting me? You don't even know what happened. Rocky's the one being unreasonable." Her mother shouted. "Don't lie. Even the neighbors know. Tony came back, and you're cheating again. Do you even have a conscience? Who helped you when no one else wanted you? You were nothing. Now that you're a little famous, you think you're above everyone else. You think that matters to me. No matter how famous you are, you're still my daughter. And when you mess up, I'll still slap you." The studio staff whispered in the corner. Tony quickly shut the door. "Auntie, please. This is a misunderstanding. It's not Hailey's fault." Hailey's mother turned on him. "You're part of this too. Didn't you know she's married? What do you think you two are doing? No shame at all. I've lost all face with the neighbors. Raised a thankless brat." Hailey shouted through her tears. "I don't need Rocky to survive. I have fame now. People are lining up to buy my art. You don't know anything. You're uneducated. Stay out of my life." Their fight spread fast. When I heard about it, I just smiled. The divorce agreement was already drawn up. I was just waiting for her to sign. When Hailey arrived, she looked indignant. "Rocky, just because I'm close with a friend, you assume I cheated and want a divorce. I won't agree. If we divorce, I want half of all your assets." I stared at her. Never thought the self-proclaimed noble artist, Miss Hailey, would one day stink of money. "You want to split assets?" I asked. "You think you deserve it?" I pulled out my phone, showed her the photo Tony had sent that night, then took out a USB stick. It held dashcam footage. Hailey and Tony kissing in my car. "You think just because there's no sex caught on camera, you're not cheating?" I asked. "How shameless can you be, Hailey? You want your husband's money and your lover's body. You really are disgusting." Hailey looked at the footage, face pale. "This is illegal surveillance. It's not valid evidence." I laughed. "You left evidence of your affair everywhere. You think I wouldn't find it? You're simple-minded, Hailey. That's your biggest flaw. You thought I owed you, that I was supposed to give you money. You were my wife. I chose to provide for you, but not so you could use my money while cheating on me. You really thought you were something." Hailey tilted her head and said, "Fine, let's divorce. Don't regret it." She picked up the pen and signed the divorce papers. Just before leaving, she looked at me with hesitation. "I admit I still have some obsession with Tony. Can you give me one more chance?" My eyes burned. "Hailey, I've already given you so many chances, but you never truly put me in your heart, did you? If I had known we'd become like this 3 years later, I'd rather we had never met at that art gallery. I regret marrying you, Hailey." That was the last thing I ever said to her. The divorce certificate came quickly, the day we received it. Tony came with her. As we walked out of City Hall, he greeted her with a bouquet of red roses. "Hailey, congratulations on starting a new life." Hailey threw herself into his arms. They looked like a perfect match, embracing on the steps. To strangers, they looked like a newlywed couple. I thought I would feel down after divorcing Hailey, but holding the divorce papers, I felt a strange sense of relief. Maybe trying to keep someone who doesn't love you is its own kind of pain. Not even a month later, I received Hailey and Tony's wedding invitation. She posted photos proudly on her social media. Their marriage certificate, their intertwined hands, matching rings. Caption, "All I want in life is to hold your hand." She called and said she hoped I could attend the wedding, to witness her happiness, and also she was pregnant. I hung up the phone. For 3 years I had desperately wanted a child, but Hailey always refused, saying it would affect her career. I never forced her. I thought we could wait until she was ready. I never imagined that as soon as she got with Tony, she would be willing to have a baby. So it wasn't that she didn't want a child. She just didn't want to have one with me. I covered my face. Tears stung my eyes. Men don't cry easily, but that was the first time I felt my sincere love had been nothing but a joke. How ironic. In love, the one who isn't loved is always the clown. I didn't attend their wedding. I heard it was grand and extravagant. Tony and Hailey spent all their savings to make it unforgettable. The next time I saw Hailey, her belly was already showing. She came to discuss an art exhibition. It was for Tony. She had visited many galleries and thought mine was the best fit. My friend planned it for her, and she was very satisfied. My friend looked at her belly. 5 or 6 months now. Why are you handling all the exhibition stuff? Shouldn't Tony be doing that? Hailey answered proudly. He doesn't know how to deal with these things. He just likes to paint. All the trivial stuff is up to me. Besides, now that I'm pregnant, my inspiration is gone. I can't paint, so I might as well help him organize the exhibition. My friend asked if I was okay with it being held in our gallery. I said, why not? Only a fool doesn't make money. The exhibition was a huge success. Our gallery had some reputation in the circle, so regular clients came to see it. At the end, Tony and Hailey came to thank me with smiles. I handed them the invoice. No need to thank me. We're in business. It's our job to serve well. If you're satisfied, recommend your friends next time. Here's the bill. Would you like to pay by check or transfer? Tony's face stiffened. Rent? What rent? He looked at Hailey confused. Did you think exhibitions don't cost rent? I said. Have you ever seen a gallery offer space for free? I raised my voice. Other clients in the gallery turned to look. Hailey's face flushed with embarrassment. You're charging me rent at your gallery? I raised an eyebrow. Hailey, if everyone exhibited for free, our gallery would have gone bankrupt. I'm a businessman. This is business. You and Tony weren't thinking of freeloading, were you? More guests were now watching. No way. They didn't plan to pay. Shill, that's the boss's ex-wife. Even if she's the ex, it's shameless, dragging her new husband into freeload. Thick-skinned, tears welled in Hailey's eyes. You're lying. I never paid rent before. You're trying to cheat us. I laughed. Hailey, use your brain. You were my wife back then. Of course I didn't charge you, but now you're my ex-wife, and you're organizing your husband's exhibition. Do you really think your ex-husband should cover the costs? Tony, do you think it's appropriate to let her ex pay for you? Tony looked embarrassed. He handed me his card. Swipe it. I took it, ran the payment, and smiled. Thank you for your business. You're welcome back anytime. All right, we take commission from any paintings sold in our gallery. Hope that's clear. Don't accuse us of cheating later. If you sell and don't pay the commission, I'll be in a tough spot. This gallery isn't run by me alone. Hailey fumed. We'll take all the paintings. We won't sell a single one here. They left in a hurry. I heard Tony complaining. You can't even handle a simple task. If I'd known, I'd have found a gallery myself. You made me lose face. Tony started gaining fame in New York, exhibiting everywhere. Hailey slowly faded from the public eye. In early summer, Tony joined a young artist showcase. I went with a friend. Next to Tony stood a striking woman, dressed in an artsy style, with thick seaweed-like curls and ethnic jewelry. My friend whispered, "That's Alice, a rich second gen. She just returned from abroad. Her family owns galleries and museums." She fell for Tony at first sight. She's been chasing him hard. Everyone knows. By then, Hailey was close to giving birth. After the show, Hailey rushed in, belly huge, face round, nothing like her former graceful self. She barged in with her bag, looked at Tony and Alice, and shouted, "Tony, who is she?" Alice looked her up and down, then giggled behind her hand. "So this is your wife? You said she was an artist. She looks like some middle-aged housewife. She's an embarrassment to real artists." Tony was mortified. He pulled Hailey aside. "They're all industry contacts. I need her help for overseas exhibitions. Don't cause a scene. I'll explain at home." Hailey shook off his hand. "Explain right here. What exhibition matter can't be said on the phone, can't be said in daylight, but has to be discussed at night, in a hotel room. Tony, our baby is almost here. You ignore everything. I'm preparing everything alone. You spend your days shopping with another woman. You have a family." Tony frowned. "I don't know how to buy baby stuff. I only know how to paint. You said to focus on painting. Now you blame me. Look at yourself, screaming like a fishwife. This is an art exhibit, not a vegetable market. You've spent too much time with your parents. You've picked up all their bad habits. Stop associating with them." His words cut deep, exposing the background Hailey was most ashamed of. She snapped. Suddenly, she lunged at Alice, grabbing her hair and hitting her, crying as she shouted, "You knew Tony had a wife and still seduced him. You're a homewrecker." The crowd froze. Hailey, though not a celebrity, was a well-known painter, elegant, talented. No one expected to see her, heavily pregnant, brawling in an art gallery. People rushed to separate them. Alice pushed her hard. "You're insane. Tony's so talented, and he married someone like you. You're a burden. I can take him further, make him famous. All you can do is cry, scream, and beg." Hailey almost fell, but someone caught her. Still, she had a contraction. Tony looked at her with disgust. "You've lost it. You don't even look like an artist anymore." He didn't even spare her a second glance. He left with Alice in his car, leaving Hailey clutching her belly, sobbing on the floor. I sighed. Though we were once husband and wife, I took her to the hospital. She clung to my hand, crying in regret. "Rocky, I was wrong. I thought Tony was my true love, but he was just a perfect image I imagined. All he cares about is fame. He doesn't care about me, or the child. I gave up so much. My career, my marriage. But now, I have nothing. I regret everything. Especially the night I went to watch those fireworks. I truly regret it. Rocky, there is no medicine for regret in this world. Everything comes down to our own choices." I spoke softly. "Hailey, the man you loved when you were young is finally by your side. Aren't you happy? Isn't this what you always wanted?" In response, all I heard was her sobbing full of remorse. Hailey gave birth early to a baby girl, weighing only 4 pounds, due to underdeveloped lungs and heart. The baby had to stay in an incubator. The next day, I brought the bag Hailey had left in my car to the hospital. As I approached her room, I overheard her arguing with Tony. "Hailey, just sign the divorce divorce papers. You can have the baby. I don't want her. I've never liked kids. It was you who insisted on having one. So you raise her. You want a divorce right after I gave birth. Hailey's voice was full of disbelief. Tony replied impatiently. Alice said if I marry her, she can help me with immigration. I can build a career in France. Her family will promote my art. They've assessed it. I have great potential. You know how important this is to me. Hailey lifted her head. What about me? Am I not important at all? Tony explained anxiously. You've always known. Painting is everything to me. Everything else comes second, including you. I've worked so hard to get where I am. I can't afford to fail. So yes, I have to divorce you. Hailey sneered. Tony, you're that confident Alice will marry you. Don't end up with nothing in the end. Tony grinned. Alice admires me. She said I'm the most talented person she's ever met. We'll definitely get married. Tony gave up everything in the divorce. Money, house, just to leave cleanly. But when he went back to find Alice, she was gone. The apartment she lived in was rented short-term, only for 3 months. She had merely returned home for a brief stay. Though her family was indeed wealthy abroad, she vanished without a word. Tony suddenly realized he had no way to contact her. Before boarding her flight, Alice gave me a call. Cousin, it's done. I'm leaving now. Remember to treat me to dinner next time you visit. I replied, sure. The custom jewelry I ordered for you has already been shipped. It'll be waiting when you get home. Alice is my cousin, my real cousin. She flew back just to help me vent my anger. After hearing about my divorce, she said, Tony and Hailey are both selfish people. When it comes to their futures, they throw everything else away. No tricks needed, just a little bait, and they took it themselves. So simple-minded. Tony was still lost in his fantasy of international fame. Hailey, after the divorce, fell into complete despair. The premature baby cost over $200,000 to $300,000 just in hospital bills. The child remained in the NICU, inside the incubator. After being discharged, the baby's health remained poor, frequently falling ill and returning to the hospital. Hailey spent all her time running back and forth, completely drained financially. Painting felt like something from another life. She hadn't picked up a brush in ages. In New York's art world, new talents emerged constantly. Within a year, almost no one remembered the name Hailey. The next time I saw her, she was carrying her child on her back, helping sell vegetables at her family's stall. The aloof pride she once carried was long gone. Now she was buried in the mundane, looking just like the ordinary people she used to look down upon. As for Tony, having left the marriage empty-handed and suffering emotional blows, he never again produced any remarkable work. No one bought his paintings. Friends later said he spent his time in wholesale markets for art supplies, painting cheap mass-produced landscapes for a couple hundred apiece. Meanwhile, my gallery business flourished. It was becoming one of the most respected in the field. When a columnist came to interview me and asked if I had any regrets, I smiled and said, no, I believe every single day is the best day of my life. The end. If you like Kitten's story, please follow and like it. Updated every morning at 9 a.m.